All right, folks, hope that you're well. We have a bonus video for you this weekend because 2 days ago, our good buddy Jazzy Jeff got his first mile test drive event near his residence in New York. I thought we'd bring this to you as soon as we could. In fact, Jimmy and Skylar were kind enough to record this without me because I was at my daughter's basketball game. We wanted to record this with Jazzy before he went on a fishing trip. So they sent me the footage. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So this is a good play-by-play as far as what to expect if you're going to have a first mile event at your home. And make sure and stick around to the end where Jeff gives a really, really good piece of advice if you're going to have a test drive near your residence. Lastly, please join us over at RivianStories.com. It's the most encouraging Rivian community on planet Earth, and you can pick up a great t-shirt. And please make sure and subscribe. We have a great interview scheduled next week with someone that you will all know. That said, here's the chat with Jeff.
What's up?
What's going
Jazzy
on?
Jeff. We got Jeff in today recording. He actually just got done with his first mile drive event there in Long Island, New York. And while it was fresh within the last, what were we talking, Jeff? 4-ish hours, I think. Since
I had a 2:30 appointment.
Yeah. So within the last 4
Eastern.
hours, Jeff has gotten to experience the R1T in his home turf, or on his home turf. And we just wanted to get you on here, Jeff, and get your thoughts and your gut reactions to the truck.
Absolutely freaking amazing.
I love it.
I didn't know exactly what to expect except from what I've heard from everybody. So in my emotions, I didn't know what to expect from myself. Let's start out with, I didn't sleep that much last night. I lost like 2 hours of sleep just from the excitement knowing that I had this today. But my impressions were, it blew me away. It exceeded. Listen, I knew everything that you guys said. I knew everything that's been out there, listening to the guys you've had on there, the women you've had on there. It still blew me away.
Yeah.
So Jeff, my first question, and I don't know anything about the format when they bring it to you. Did you meet them somewhere? Did they bring it to your house? And then it sounds like you were able to go off by yourself, right? Or was the Rivian person there with you?
Yeah, he was with me the entire time.
Okay.
Never left us, never left the vehicle to go to the bathroom or anything like that. He was with us the entire time. The way the format is that you have a half hour. So when I got the slot, literally a couple days ago, I got notification. I think Jimmy texted me, check your email. And then Becca, my guide, texted me, check your email. And I was in the gym and immediately I jumped on and I made an appointment. I think that was like Monday or Tuesday. And then literally had an appointment a little while later. But I reached out to Becca first and I said, does it have to be at my home? Does it have to be where I'm going to, I don't know, not necessarily have to take delivery there, but it has to be my home? And she's like, no, you can choose wherever you want. That was important to me because, we live in suburbia here, right? Cars all over the place. I don't want to drive it on the same streets that I'm on around cars and stoplights and, worry about that. But my buddy lives, so we're on Long Island and there's outer barrier islands off of Long Island, and Jones Beach is one of them, and Oak Beach is one of them, and he lives over by Oak Beach. So I used his address as the spot to do our test drive. They don't care. They just put it in. So my idea was, well, I still want to try it out on the beach. I have a 4-wheel drive beach pass. I was like, well, can we do this? He's like, yeah, all good. As long as it's legal. I go, yep, we're all good. We can go. He's boom.
Yes.
So it was awesome. We only supposed to get a half hour. He gave us like an extra 10, maybe 15, not quite. Michelle was running a little late. So I think that's why he did it. But they have their slots and it's a half hour actually. It's supposed to be 2:30 to 3. So the first few minutes, he gave me a walk around the whole vehicle. He asked me my level. He liked the shirt. He saw the shirt.
Yes.
And he said he watches you guys. He goes, well, I'm taking a guess that you pretty much know a lot about this vehicle already. I go, yeah, I do. I know a ton about it. These are my friends and I've been on their show and yeah, they're so informative and how they gather their info. And yeah, we just try to get as much as we can. he goes, all right, cool. He goes, well, I'm just going to get into the weeds then, and let's, go deep here. And instead of just explaining every little thing, he was just some details he was printing out, like just even like the headlights, that oval shape, how it's carried throughout the entire vehicle. That oval shape is in the door handles, it's in the grille, it's in the switches, it's in accent trim. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I'm gonna cut you off there, Jeff. So what did Michelle think of the truck actually driving it?
So her first time she drove it, she actually drove it on the beach. And she was like, I can't believe how this thing is going over the sand. It's like, it's just doing it effortlessly. Like we're doing like 12, 15, 16 miles an hour on the sand. And the sand down here is super, super soft. Okay. And she's like, I can't believe how it's just floating on the sand, going from one set of tracks over to the next set almost effortlessly. Then we got onto the road and we went into a sport mode on concrete, but we stopped. It's down by the beach, no cars around and whatnot. And like, go ahead. And she punched it, and even afterwards she said she did it with some hesitation because she was nervous, but she's going ha, 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 as she's going. Tried the different modes as we're driving, from all purpose or all terrain to sport mode, and feeling the stiffness in the steering. You can feel it. I was impressed.
Yeah. What did your guide that came out there, the field specialist, did he give you any idea of how many people how many pre-order holders he's actually visiting a day?
It seems to me like he's doing 3 a day. He came from Riverhead this morning, which is further out from me, about 45 minutes from where we were. And that was probably his 12 or 11:30 appointment, because I was at 2:30, and they work it out so they can get to their next spot, and if they need to charge, they can charge or whatever.
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of your configuration. So R1T, Rivian Blue, Black Mountain, 20s, tent.
I didn't get the tent because I actually have a tent. I have a rooftop tent already, and it's a year old. Gotcha. So it's the same type of tent though.
Right.
It'll go on the back. But I got everything else. I mean, the launch edition, launch off-road, everything. I got every freaking option there is. I thought it was pretty cool how in the frunk, looking at it from further away, of course we know the frunk's big, right? It's cool. I didn't know there was like a little extra, 10 inches below the board of more storage down there.
Yeah.
Where the charging cable is, if you will, and the gear guard cable. I didn't realize it was that deep. It's unbelievable how much space is in that thing.
Oh yeah.
I actually was surprised at how high the truck sits just at a normal mode, the all-purpose mode. It's impressive. Going into the Atlanta Arts Center, wherever we went, and seeing it in the Jacob Javits Center. It's different than when you're right next to it. They have the ropes around it. I was impressed at the stature of the vehicle, just being there, the presence of it.
They definitely do have a much more striking presence in person than in pictures, or even seeing one, from a bit of a distance.
They had a very commanding, because of the commanding presence. Like you sat extremely high in the vehicle. You sat in it more like a truck than you would a car. Your knees, your feet weren't straight out in front of you like in a Toyota Tacoma. You definitely were sitting in it more like a truck.
I was impressed how much room it actually had. The first thing I noticed when I sat in it was, wow, because I drove a Tundra before. Tundra's pretty big truck. I had a crew cab Tundra, and at the time when I got it, it was a 2010, but it was one of the biggest cabins on the market for a 4-door pickup truck. And I was impressed at how much space I had in front of me and back. And I looked back at Michelle sitting in the back seat, and she's like, yeah, I have plenty of room too. I didn't think there was going to be as much room in the back even. I saw the tires, the wheels, they're big. They really helped that truck look amazing, and super quiet, unbelievable. We're on the sand and we're along the water, and it's on the bay side. You know, the boat, there's boat wake coming through, so there's a little wake breaking on the rocks to our left, and all you hear is the water.
That is awesome.
We're moving, and all we hear is this.
That's amazing.
Doing awesome, babe.
Did you jam the stereo? And if so, what did you listen to?
Folks in the back, folks on the driver, folks over me. Just let me know.
That system is crazy how you can move it to different people. Like if you're by yourself driving, you don't care about the people on the right side or behind you. You just move your finger and put it right to you, and boom, you're in a concert hall, right? And you're the center of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced a stereo system like that in a car before. It's just all immersive all the way around. I've never experienced something that just brought the sound right to you, or so focused. Mm-hmm.
Jeff, what was your favorite part about the truck, or favorite part about the experience?
Oh, 0 to 60 to 90. Couldn't, you know, he's like, I didn't even push it, you know, we just went up there. And what I thought was really interesting was how 0 to 40, 0 to 60, like it just has you don't lose any momentum on that forward thrust. It's not slowing down unless you take your foot off the accelerator. Well, it's the same thing from 60 to 90. You have the same acceleration as quickly as you went 0 to 60. I thought that was pretty cool. I can't wait to use it, you know, in all different terrains. You know, I go to Vermont, and like I said, in the winters and stuff, I can't wait to really test this thing out.
The customers, the pre-order holders who are going to have that same experience, do you have any recommendations to them?
I would 100% recommend getting away from a crowded city street. You're not feeling the vehicle. You're just not. He did say to me, he goes, you know, like most of the time, like you drive a vehicle and you say, hey, be careful in the pothole, you know, you never want to hit a pothole. He goes, it doesn't matter with this vehicle. But I wanted to feel it on a real road, maybe a different terrain if I could. Try to do it maybe in where, you know, there's a huge parking lot where you can, you know, do your right, left, you know, and feel a little bit more without worrying about cars on the sides of you and stuff like that, you know. Do some of your homework. If you're not as familiar with the vehicle, do some of your homework. Watch you guys' videos. Because
I like that one.
Yeah, you know, what it really comes down to is you don't want to waste your time with him giving you all the basics.
Right.
You know, you have a half hour, you know, we got like 10 extra minutes because, you know, Michelle was running a few minutes late, and, you know, we didn't go anywhere yet. He was just walking around showing me a little bit more. But yeah, it's totally worth like knowing your stuff before you take your drive. So then you can really focus on the feeling of the drive. And not be short-changed and only get a 10-minute drive and a 20-minute walk around because you spent too much time doing that.